Hi everyone, it is September 19th version of the weekly installment of the weekly Helm Dev meeting. And as always, it's being recorded, so say only what you want to be out there on the internet permanently. We follow the CNCF Code of Conduct and all that. Okay, so we don't have many people on right now, which is interesting, but also cool. So here's a link to the docs. Maybe it'll be a short one. Okay, there is one. Did you want to do this announcement, Karen?
So I just got an email like at the top of the hour. So we have been approved for a Helm Project Pavilion booth at KubeCon, Salt Lake City, so that is in November. So if anyone reading or watching this video later, if you don't have any contacts, basically at KubeCon, there is usually a section that is dedicated to CNCF projects. And you kind of basically have, your own version of the sponsor booth, but it's for projects. And we will be splitting these. So usually someone takes it for like the first half of the day. I signed us up to take the second half of each day. So it'll be in more or less like the PM hours of each day. And we'll have to staff it. There'll be a monitor and chairs, and that's kind of where people will come by and ask some questions throughout the conference. Like I said, I just got the email earlier today, so I will work on creating a little spreadsheet so that we can volunteer for shifts. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Just a really quick update because I just got the news that we were approved. So if you have any questions, ping me on Slack. Otherwise, I should have more context for everyone next week.
Awesome.
That's it.
Okay. Maybe it's worth noting that Helm is going to be having a couple of talks. We can get into the details of that later, I suppose, but I know there's going to be a Contrib Fest talk. There's also the project track talk. And then I know a couple of other talks we're going to be talking about Helm maintainership and package management and things like that. Maybe I can add those in a future call, but you can find them for now on the KubeCon website. Okay. So the first, well, let's see here. I think, okay, well, I could take a look at George's. I know George isn't here to introduce this discussion item, that he has two of them, but let me just go ahead and take a look at this. The number 13225. Is there anything that's kind of like out there? And I see, it just needs additional review. Okay. And then I think I might skip this unless, yeah, I think I may skip this one. George, I think, has a question about, maybe this is what Matt mentioned last week about the Go client Go version and Go version. Let's save that one. I don't know who IMRI is, but there's a maintainer review. Oh, interesting.
Is that the same thing from last week's agenda? I think they like list have
Copied
been
it.
adding stuff to the but I don't think they've been coming to the meetings, unfortunately.
Yeah, if anyone knows about specific about this, anything specific, that's cool, but I am thinking probably not. Oh yeah, I remember it being discussed, but I didn't get to like really dig into it, and I don't have an opinion about it yet. But I think Matt's comment is interesting. I think it's kind of, I believe it's up to him to reply still. Yeah, I think the ball's in Matt's court. Okay, so then we're moving along, and we might have other things, but Michael, do you want to, is that yours, Michael Morris?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I guess this is just related to the PR that caused the regression 3.16.0 there with the Helm dependency updates. So I just reapplied that update, but I've also added in a fix for the issue that we've seen with the non-absolute URLs. So hopefully that will address the reason why it was reverted. So I guess if anyone has time to have a look over that, then that would be great.
Yes. I do recall this. Yeah, because that was interesting to have to back out of it. Okay. That's great. And just as a reminder, do we have an in-depth, was it just the make test style? That wasn't it, was it?
Sorry?
It wasn't just the test, the style test. What was actually, do you recall what was breaking?
What was breaking? Yeah, so if you had a non-absolute URL in the index, then when it was reading that, it was breaking basically. It wasn't able to handle the non-absolute URL.
Right. Okay. I was just wondering, do we have a test for that?
I added a test case in the unit tests list anyway. So the way I've done it in the PR, I've had two commits. The first commit was just to reapply what was there, and the second commit then contains the fix and the new test case, so it's easy to see what is different from the last time around.
Yes, you do. Awesome. Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay.
I will take a look at this one.
Great, thank you.
So I wonder, do we have any other topics that folks that are here want to discuss? For example, Michael, Shelton. I'm calling you out, not to put you on the spot, but just because you happen to be here. And basically, I could at this point say, all right, let's start looking at hip review things, and then just sort of have a quicker close. But
yeah, I mean, I'm finally able to allocate some time. I chatted with Matt, I think 2 weeks back, and just kind of get an idea of where to sort of start digging in. So I'm going to dedicate probably, I don't know, a half hour a day to just digging through issues and kind of seeing. Really, I'll probably start looking at some of the closed issues and pull requests and kind of see, what the general target is that people are coming with, whether they're bug fixes or enhancement requests or whatever, and kind of just getting a lay of the land there. But my goal is to start actually being able to participate on issues, discussions, pull requests, etc. I still need to also just build it from source and kind of dig through the code a bit more too. But
yeah, that's great. So we have a lot of these instructions like peppered in a few different places. I don't know if Matt gave you the whole rundown, but I've written it up probably like 5 different times, ADHD style, and I feel like I'd like to get those together and put them in one place and maybe update that.
okay, yeah, I mean, if I was, yeah, I don't think he didn't give me those, but anything would be helpful in that space. Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Okay, and specifically, by the way, I'm talking about how to make it really crystal clear how folks who want to help review pull requests can do that as they work toward a triage maintainer role if desired, and beyond if they wish. Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. Okay. Oh, did Matt also only want, so we can offline it too potentially, but I'd like to have that more together before I start sharing my screen and
Yeah, no, of
hanging all
course.
over. Otherwise, I would do it right on the call. But did Matt already give you some of the videos that he had created a while back? As that
He
were
didn't know. I mean, it was relatively informal chat, so I don't. Yeah, he didn't really send me much of that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I am going to find them. They're on yeah, I believe they're on Matt's blog. So
Okay.
I'll go somewhere down there.
I will say documents are better. I am not a person that learns by video very well.
Oh,
so.
great. Okay. then that's perfect. You don't need,
Yeah.
I won't bother sending it to you. Okay. Perfect. Alrighty. Well, it's probably worth actually doing the HIP review. Or at least taking a look at some of those. I won't really have someone to give me a core maintainer second opinion about it. So maybe I'll just take one quick look. I know I'm like running the show here, or moderating, but I'll take one quick look at the community repo and just see if there's something.
Just for my sake, what does HIP stand for?
Helm Improvement Proposal.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
And this is probably good. Why don't I just share my screen real quick?
So I'm assuming it's similar to the KEP process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And both were based on Python's improvement proposal structure. They're tips initially.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you go to helm/github.com helm/community and go into the HIPs folder, there is there's a README that lists
Yep.
them. Actually, this one needs to be updated, I guess, because this got in. So
perfect. I mean, it looks like similar to KEP or ADRs.
Exactly. And in this case, rather than like a HIP 0 or whatever, there's HIP 1 on how to write a HIP.
Yeah.
Just note that the status on a lot of these, excuse me, is not yet accepted, even though that one is, of course, even though they should be.
Yep.
So,
no, that makes sense. I run a pretty robust ADR process internally here, and it's similar.
Yeah.
So I'm just very familiar in the space.
Exactly. Yeah. So then that will make sense. You'll just realize that, oh, some of these are in draft, but we actually treat them as accepted. We just haven't gone back and marked them as such. So
cool. Actually, that'll probably be a good place for me to start to read through.
Cool. Yeah. And there's their historic ones here in the archives before the HIP process,
cool.
Including like the design of Helm 3 and
oh, awesome.
All of that stuff. Cool. I'm gonna stop sharing then. Well, let me just go real quick through the pull requests. And right, I know that there are a few of these. There are a good few of these. So like looking at the open ones, just some may mention HIPs, some are actual HIPs. So anyway, I don't think it's going to be beneficial on this call to go through it because you really want a couple of maintainers to discuss them. So I will stop sharing this. I think we can just go ahead and let's see, Karen, since you're also on, you know what? I'm going to give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to Karen, who is, I would say, an unsung hero, but you are also very sung. Maybe not enough, but thanks for continuing to like yeah, check in with things like the booth and make sure that those conversations don't just get lost, because they sometimes could. And yeah, and Michael, I'm glad that you're. I know it was exciting. It was cool to chat with you at the the New York KCD, and psyched about you getting more involved. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's taken a lot longer than I had anticipated, but yeah.
The wheels turn slowly,
Yeah.
at bigger organizations. Oh, right, and I just joined a bigger organization. I'm working on NASA Science Cloud now, so there's going to be some government.
Yeah, I saw that on LinkedIn. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. But anyway, I will also have some more time than I have for a little while, at least after the onboarding. So I guess, is there anything that we think that we really need to amplify in social media, Karen? We could, but I can't really think of anything that we need to right now.
Maybe like not immediately, and maybe like start next week, but we probably want to start pushing the talks that we had at KubeCon just to surface it. Yeah.
Can I be helpful?
I guess so.
Or sorry.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you ever put out any tweets yourself or anything, I'm happy to amplify from the Helm account. I usually kind of pop in and see if anything's been tagged, but yeah, if you tweet anything, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess at this point we're like about 2 months out, so probably start that. Yeah. I'll just make a note here.
That's cool. I know on some other projects, we've created I guess just a spreadsheet of of a social media schedule. Do you think that would ever be helpful to you, or do you feel like it's
I'm kind of using the meeting notes as that. Just because
like
there isn't
the meeting notes. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just because there isn't like a huge influx of like content coming through or anything. So this is my current reference for now. Yeah, I mean, if things, I guess like as Helm 4 starts picking up, like we could, if we need to change it, if there's just more stuff to amplify. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just looking at this and I think it's enough for now.
Great. Stable projects. Okay, then I guess next, let's just do the assignments for next call. I think I'm just going to double check to see if I can. Oh, would you like to moderate next week, Karen?
Sure, I can do next week. I think, yeah, I'll volunteer for next week.
Okay, then I'll do notes, and I'll also put myself down as for PR review. And I'll I know I won't have time to do issue triage, but that's something that at an actual triage level, we do need at least a triage maintainer to do. But I want to note to both Michael, since you're on the call, and whoever might be watching this recording later, that anyone can help with that process. It's a really great thing to do to learn more about the project, and it's really helpful to us. Yeah, and we've got like the onboarding guide on how to do that, and really where it comes into really important for us is where issues are then followed up with a PR, helping with those. Like you had mentioned building the Helm binary by scratch, Michael Shelton. Yeah, that's part of that process too, is like seeing if an issue is even reproducible, if it's a bug, and if it's a feature. Yeah, I mean, I suppose weighing in with an opinion is always, anyone's welcome to do that. But then if there's a PR, whether it's a feature or a bug, it's like try the actual steps, to see if that can already be done, like without this PR, or if you can reproduce the bug without the PR, and then if building that PR actually does in fact fix it. Those are hugely helpful comments to leave. But no pressure, obviously, but that's yeah.
As I go through it, I mean, I mean, as is anything, right? You follow documentation to try new things, and if you run into something, you try to feed that back to the documentation. So
Yeah.
as I go through that, I'll keep that in mind.
Awesome.
It's very easy to overlook something that when you've been doing it for a while, and you're just like, oh yeah, just do it this way.
Yeah, exactly. And the big thing that does for us, well, for the community, is help get those features and bug fixes into releases faster. And because what it helps for core maintainers is just kind of helps do a lot of the legwork ahead of time for code review. We end up doing all of those steps and trying to verify these things ourselves, or trying to track down, like, how would you reproduce that, or what would we be looking for in this new feature exactly, and things like that. And does it in fact work? that basically shaves that time off, that intro time off, when you've only got an hour, and then we can use the rest of the time for reviewing. But
it's going to be it's always a little bit more difficult to build from source internally too. So that's going to be I think the real fun. So we don't have, there's always a couple loopholes or things here and there that we have to do that we can freely do in the outside world. So,
firewalls and all of that.
Firewalls, build tools, ecosystems, versions of things.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Okay. Could be a follow-up to see if we can find ways to accommodate that.
Yeah.
For other people too. All right, awesome. Well, I think that's it for today, unless anyone has anything else they wanted to mention. All right, well, I'll see you all on Slack and see you next week.
Oh, thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.